Dzień dobry, assalamu alaikum, ciao, konnichiwa, namaste, bonjour. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Ken at 10. How are you today? I hope you're well. We are James Alexander Estate Agents. We broadcast live daily from Norbury in SW16, which has Streatham to the north and Croydon to the south, if you're wondering exactly where we are. And we talk about all things property and what's going on locally in the market, community, whatever we can think of, really. So I hope you're well today. In terms of the summer here, I don't know what's happened, really. It's a bit autumn-like, very autumnal. It's kind of like a little bit chilly, a little bit overcast, and a little disappointing for the summer. And, I was just speaking to a friend yesterday, and they were saying that in Spain, last night, it was 43 degrees. He said the actual wind was burning his eyes. It's like they call it the hairdryer. Absolutely crazy. So in terms of what's going on locally, lots of valuations coming in, which is great. Thank you very much to those of you that booked with us. Those that haven't, you're on the market with another agent, or you haven't yet decided, or you just want to think about moving, want to know what you're worth, always drop us a line, give us a call, direct message us if you're on one of the socials. Just let us know what you'd like. We're always happy to come around, have a chat, no obligation. We always see it as a long-term thing anyway. Sometimes we get clients that, talk to us maybe 3-4 times over a number of 5-10 years even. Well, they say, is the time right? Should I be moving? And quite often we'll say no, given what you've asked for, it's unlikely you'll find what you want. Therefore, maybe the timing isn't right. For others, the timing can be spot on. There's one lady last year that'd been asking me for 5 years whether the time was right. And they got to a point where it was right because I knew financially the move would be right for at that point. And she moved. And so, we're always happy to advise in terms of timing, because it's not all about just the money, is it? It's about, what you get for yours, yes, but also what you're buying, how much that's going to cost. And the difference between those two figures, that's the real cost of the move, isn't it? Because actually, if you're moving from one house at 500,000 to another area in a house at 500,000, that's a sideways move. And actually, financially, in terms of the market impact, it's probably very much the same, as much of a muchness. And similarly, if your market is, slightly more or slightly less, maybe 100,000 up or down, the actual financial implications of that are not that big. So in terms of news today, we got one in the Times saying London office lettings have reached their highest level since pre-pandemic. This is good to see because we like to see London opening up, especially because we are in the surrounding suburbs and we're one of the zone 3 commuter areas people use to get into town for their jobs. And so for us, London opening back up is a critical part of the professional lettings market and the sales market getting back, especially in terms of flats with sales and in terms of everything with lettings. So the highest volume of office space and the increase in the previous quarter has been the biggest so far, with a 39% increase. And the biggest deal was 157,000 square feet, and that was at British Land's Broadgate campus in the City of London. IBM have relocated as well from South Bank to nearby offices that involve subletting 135,000 square feet. House prices. We love talking house prices, don't we? Everybody likes a house price. And today we're talking about where they're rising highest. What's your guess? I'll keep you guessing. I'll come back to that. Do comment if you fancy a stab at that one. But where a house price is rising fastest right now, it may not be where you think. Stand by for that. There's another article in the Express, and this is from a company called Goodmove, who are saying that the buy-to-let market still represents a lucrative opportunity to make money, according to their director, Ross Council. He says renting out a property has been a popular method in the past, but there has been some doubt in recent years as to the future outlook of the market. Renting out a second property has become an incredibly popular form of earning a second income for many, and considering the generation rent phenomenon, also an incredibly wise one too, said Mr. Council. As we see the world returning to some semblance of normality, we predict a larger demand for renting, he continued. Rent has increased by around 7.1% on average, yet for first-time buyers is still cheaper than taking out an equivalent mortgage. Of course, that depends on where you are, because like with all these things, there's markets within markets. But what he's saying is that the lettings market is there, it's strong. And remember, people think, oh, I'll just put money in the bank. And, with interest rates, and we're going to come on to those now, historic low levels, actually your money is going backwards. When inflation's at 4% and interest rates are paying out less than 1%, your money is going into reverse by 3% if you've got it in savings. And that's a serious concern if you're a pensioner or someone with a lot of money just sitting around. It's losing money if it's just sat in the bank. This is not financial advice, by the way. We don't give that. We're just here to talk about property, and this is just purely educational. Talking of which, Reuters, this one, and we'll put the clip on screen for you. This is from Reuters, and it says economists, bank unlikely to raise rates before 2023. Economists believe the Bank of England will wait until 2023 before raising rates from a record low, although they suggested elevated inflation and a strong economic recovery could see the bank opt to increase rates sooner. In its August 5th meeting, the Bank of England set out how it could tighten monetary policy, but opted to continue with stimulus measures, despite forecasts that inflation will double and hit 4% by year end. While the bank said it would start reducing its stock of bonds when its policy rate was 0.5%, economists polled by Reuters said they believe the bank rate would reach 0.5% in 2023. Again, it's not significantly different, is it? And then Britain's economy expanded by 4.8% in quarter two, and is expected to grow another 2.6% in quarter three. This was slow to 1.3% in quarter four and 0.8% in the first quarter of 2022. And the growth on an annual basis, that makes 6.8% for 2021 and 5.4% for 2022 is expected. And that's stronger than the 6.7% and the 5.2% forecast in the previous poll. Around 85% of respondents said the unemployment rate would take at least a year to reach its pre-pandemic level. But things do look to be going in the right direction, don't they? And, very good news for the economy. And, the wider sense as well, we're seeing a worldwide recovery, it seems. Very good news. The pandemic at last seeming to abate and lives getting back to some sort of semblance of normality, albeit a bit slower than we'd all like. Right, house prices, where are they raising fastest in the whole of the UK? It's Wales, believe it or not. Normally it seems to be Devon or Cornwall, one of the holiday type destinations. But there's an article on the BBC News. It says Wales has seen the biggest rise in house prices, and this is according to the website Rightmove. In the last month, there's been a 2.3% rise, and year on year, a 10.9% increase. Meanwhile, the Principality Building Society reported the average price in Wales hit a new peak of £215,810 earlier this year. Torfaen and Bridgend saw the highest sale rate at 80%. But even then, their prices relative to London are so much lower, aren't they? The average price at 215, they're well below the London rate. So that's it for today. Hope you're having a good day. Have a fantastic day today. We'll be back tomorrow with another Ken at 10. Until then, if you can think of a good idea for our show, we've got a podcast coming up on Friday. We've got Hema Sharma joining us from Alan Buckley Solicitors for the regular podcast. And we're thinking of a topic, what we can cover this week that would help you. It's called the Property Buyer and Sellers Podcast, and it's all about buying and selling. And we're always looking to find ways that we can help and guide you through the maze that is property buying and selling. So if there's a topic you'd like us to cover, please do comment on the socials or drop us a line or give us a call, 0208 679 8601. And if you're thinking of selling, especially right now, we have time for you. There's slots in the diary. Get in touch. Speak to you soon. Stay safe and well. Look after your family and friends.